Okay, now we are going to discuss the certain incidents that had happened wherein Gandhiji's satyagraha was implemented, and somehow the Britishers got the feeling that now this is taking this is kind of his movements or the feeling of satyagraha is actually engulfing the entire India. Okay. So the first thing that happened was the Rowlatt Act. Okay. Now what is the Rowlatt Act? See, the Rowlatt, Britishers have now started to sense that Indians are kind of uniting against their colonial rule. So they know the reasons for resentment, and they started taking some measures in order to ensure that Indians are afraid of joining in the struggle. Okay. So the Rowlatt Act was the first of its act, and it was a very suppressive act. The Anarchical and Revolutionary Crimes Act. It was basically the Anarchical and Revolutionary Crimes Act of 1919. Anarchical and Revolutionary Crimes Act, any kind of revolution, to suppress any kind of revolution, the Britishers had launched this act. Okay, this was popularly known as the Rowlatt Act. We also call it the Black Act or the Black Bill. Okay, it was passed by the Imperial Legislative Council. See, Imperial Legislative Council had Indian members as well. Okay, representative of Indian communities as well, but they were not heard of. This was passed irrespective of whether whether they agreed to this or not. Okay, so it was passed by the Imperial Legislative Council in Delhi in the 18th of March 1919. Okay, so what did it do? Okay, this was basically passed by the Imperial as a law. Now what did it do? It suspended the right of habeas corpus. Okay, what is habeas corpus? See, when you are accused of something, when somebody is accused of something, he has to be produced before the magistrate, and he has to present his case. There will be a trial that happens, and only if after the trial he is convicted, the person is taken into custody, or the person is jailed, or whatever punishment terms are basically offered, the person has to pay the penalty for it, either in terms of money or spending some time in jail. That's how the thing happens. Okay, so that is called habeas corpus. So when you have been convicted of a crime, when you are accused of a crime and you are convicted of a crime, there's a difference. Okay, anybody can accuse of you of anything, but have you actually committed the crime? So habeas corpus is basically the right to fight your own case. Okay, to fight your innocence. Okay, to fight whatever has happened, to relay the same events before a judge, so that an appropriate decision is taken for or against you. Okay, so habeas corpus, basically any person who is detained by the police or the authorities has the right to fight for his case. But this was kind of withdrawn. Okay, this is challenging the habeas corpus. It allowed detention of political prisoners without trial for 2 years. So anybody who is involved in any kind of political struggle, or so that person will be taken into custody by the Britishers. No trial and nothing. They will have to stay in prison or in custody for 2 years. Okay, so there was no trial available for them. Without trial for 2 years, it allowed detention of political prisoners. These political prisoners were detained, and they were detained for 2 years without any right given to them to fight for their own case or trial. So they cannot prove their innocence, and they cannot prove their cause even if they are detained. So this is just picking up anybody and putting into the jail. Obviously they will not be doing that, but any political connection, if the Britishers are able to identify any person who is actually politically motivated for his country, they will pick him up, put him in the jail, no trial, nothing. Okay, so that's basically challenging habeas corpus, the basic right of challenging somebody's detention. Okay, so this is what was followed. So basically it is jailing without being given an opportunity to explain yourself. Okay, so obviously this was done to create fear amongst the Indians, so that they do not associate themselves with any political parties or agendas. They do not take part into any kind of struggle that is initiated by any of the political leaders. So this was to create fear. See, going to jail is a fear for anyone. Okay, so without any reason they would be picked up and they would be jailed. So on 6th of April, Gandhiji launched a nationwide satyagraha against this act. He launched a nationwide satyagraha against this act, and it received a wide response, huge response. okay, people actually cooperated and participated in huge numbers. How? The shops were shut down, okay, the shops were shut down, the people employed in railways went on a strike, okay, many workers went on a strike. So, you know, people employed by the government in different industries, they all went on a strike. So, this was a complete, you know, lockdown type of a thing that had happened at that point of time. So, on 6th of April, Gandhi launched this act, and it spread like a fire, okay. So, everybody kind of, there was a majority of people who were actually involved in this struggle. So, this was the first widespread satyagraha movement launched by Gandhi, okay. So, now everything was kind of going on, people were engaged in peaceful protest, non-violent protest, which was the basic core of satyagraha movement, and you know, people were carrying this in a peaceful mode. But something happened in Amritsar. There was a clash between people and protesters of Amritsar and the police. The peaceful protesters were there who had gathered up in Amritsar, and there was a clash that took place between the police and them. All right. What happened? Several political leaders were arrested. Again, the arrest was as per the Rowlatt Act, and Gandhi was barred from entering into Delhi. So, since Delhi was a hotspot of all political happenings at that point of time, so Gandhi was barred from entering into Delhi, because if he entered Delhi, the Britishers feared that this would gain a huge momentum. He will be able to convince a lot of other leaders and a lot of other people as well, and this would gain a huge momentum that would go beyond their control. Okay, so this was the first act against which Gandhi had launched his satyagraha, the Rowlatt Act, and it was successful to a huge extent, and this was one of the milestones of the satyagraha movement. Now, satyagraha movement was launched in various other aspects as well. So, the other movements that we have, if we are going to the macroscopic movements like non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, all these are different movements, okay. But these are the stepping stones of those wider movements that took place on a later half. So, we have studied what is Rowlatt Act. It was one of the incidents that had happened, and it is one of the acts that was passed which was hugely protested, and this gained momentum again amongst the people of India. Now, people have started to identify themselves with the philosophy of Gandhi, that is Satyagraha, and his movement. So, now nationalism is going in a different direction as they have gained a new leader. Okay. So, you can take a snapshot of the same. Alright, so now we are going to talk about or rather discuss one of the most unfortunate events, or one of the most we can say that it's a black mark in the history of India, when thousands of innocent people were killed, massacred by the Britishers, and it marked it actually changed the political dimension of freedom struggle in India. Okay. This is called the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and that happened in Punjab. Okay, it was a brutal murder of people who had gathered for a peaceful procession. Okay, okay. Now, what happened here is events leading to this massacre. So, first of all, we will consider the events which actually had happened prior to this. Okay, so on 10th of April 1919, a protest was held at the residence of Deputy Commissioner of Amritsar. So, as you see, the Rowlatt Act was passed, and Gandhi had actually launched the Satyagraha movement against the Rowlatt Act, because it can detain anybody without any trial. Okay, any political prisoner can be detained without any trial for 2 years. Okay, so there was as usual a peaceful protest that was held in the residence of Deputy Commissioner of Amritsar. And Amritsar is basically in Punjab, okay, to demand the release of two popular leaders of Indian independent movement, that was Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlew. Okay, these were the political leaders who were Indians and who were arrested against as per the Rowlatt Act, and the public had basically, the people have actually gathered to protest and demand their release. Okay, so it was a peaceful protest, and they were following the principles of Gandhi as Satyagraha, but in some time what happened is that there's a clash that evolved. Okay, the clash that evolved was between the British troops and the Indians, and the British troops started firing. Okay, not many people were killed, but there was a huge disturbance that was caused. It was a peaceful march, however it was disrupted by indiscriminate firing by the British troops, and that basically was one of the reasons why an anger or discontent evolved in the people of Punjab. Okay, so they were peacefully protesting against the Rowlatt Act as per the Satyagraha movement launched by Gandhi, and they were demanding the release of Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlew so that they cannot be detained further. But this led to more violence. So more violence means some people from the from the government and the British rule were harmed. So that would happen. Okay. Now, for the next 2 days, Amritsar was quiet. There were no untoward incidents that had happened in Amritsar, but violence continued in other parts of Punjab because the news spread and people were angry and discontent. Okay. So then violence continued in other parts of Punjab. However, Amritsar was silent. Now, what happened on 3 days later was that it was the festival occasion of Baisakhi. Baisakhi basically marks the new year of Punjabis. It also marks the harvesting season. Okay, so it is celebrated accordingly. Now, Jallianwala Bagh was basically a huge ground wherein people used to gather and celebrate Baisakhi every year. Okay, so on April 13, 1919, thousands of people had gathered in Jallianwala Bagh. Now, in order to take control of the situation which had arisen post the 10th of April, General Dyer was or Colonel Dyer was posted in Amritsar. Okay, so these people had basically gathered to celebrate Baisakhi, and yes, there were certain certain groups who had basically who were protesting, or rather who were trying to emphasize on what is the importance of nationalism, or what is why do we need to unite against the Britishers. So these were certain general ideas which were getting exchanged. So by and large, it was a very peaceful and unarmed assembly. Okay, there were no arms and ammunition. People had just gathered like they do every year, and they were just discussing whatever was happening in India with regards to the Rowlatt Act, with regards to the protests that were going on. So this was a peaceful gathering that was there. Okay, all of a sudden General Dyer was made aware, and he came there along with 90 soldiers at around 4:30 p.m. in the evening. What he did after coming there was he blocked the exit points. Okay, there was an exit, there was only one exit. There was basically a huge wall that was surrounding the entire garden. Okay, and he blocked the exit point, he closed the exit point, he closed the doors, and he ordered his troops to fire indiscriminately on these unarmed people till their ammunition was exhausted. Okay, so these people were fired upon for 10 minutes, and this firing continued till the ammunition or the bullets were exhausted for the soldiers. So it was a huge massacre that happened. Many people were killed of the bullets. Some people because there was people were running helter and skelter to save their lives. Many people were stampeded and they died. A lot of people, almost 120 bodies were recovered from a well that was there. So they started jumping into a well which was there. Seeing no flight or no scope of flight, people started jumping there. So people were trapped and killed. It was one of the most gruesome incidents of massacre that can happen, not only in India but in the entire world. Okay, it was a black mark or a black day in the chapter of history in India. Okay, so a lot of people, almost 120 bodies were recovered here, and they say that according to the census that time, almost 379 people were killed. Okay, and approximately 1200 were injured, but these are official figures, and people believe that these have been twisted and tweaked because the Britishers don't want to add on to the resentment or discontent amongst Indians. Ideally, Indian National Congress, or rather the freedom fighters, believed that almost 1000 people were killed. Okay, so 1000 people had been killed at that point of time. What was more gruesome was that these were basically unarmed people who had just gathered there to celebrate their festival, which is a basic human right. So families were there, ladies were there, children were there. So these were families. They had not gathered there to protest, they had not gathered there to fight or struggle. They had just gathered there as families. Babies they were there, infants were there, children were there, ladies were there, gentlemen were there. So these families, they were indiscriminately fired upon, and this was one of the very gruesome incidents that could ever have happened, okay, in the history of India. Unarmed, peaceful people who had gathered to celebrate a festival were shot upon by the Britishers, okay, and this shook the entire notion, okay. So this firing lasted for 10 minutes, and approximately, according to Indians, it's approximately 1,000 people who have been killed, but Britishers say that it was approximately 379. Okay, so this indiscriminate firing was a very gruesome incident, and this actually shook the entire thing. Okay, so Gandhi, he saw that the protest is getting a little violent, so he called off the Rowlatt Act. Okay. So, that was one of the turning points. Till now, Bhagat Singh was actually supporting Gandhi. He was an infant at that moment of time. He had not been, so from there he actually parted his ways, because Gandhi withdrew his Rowlatt Act. Okay, he saw that a lot of violence is erupting in different parts of Punjab. So at that point of time, Rowlatt Act was withdrawn. So Rowlatt Act, which was basically launched, and Gandhi had launched a satyagraha against the Rowlatt Act to protest against it, was called off by Gandhi after this incident. Okay, but after this incident, the dimensions of the entire political struggle changed. It actually added to the resentment and discontent of Indians, and it gave the entire freedom struggle a different dimension. Okay, so that was about Jallianwala Bagh massacre that had happened. You can take a snapshot of the same, and we will continue with the next incidents that are there.